Hold on. Hold on there. Wait, no. This one? Yep. There we go. Okay. We're back. And I should scoot over here.
Word on the street is this is the place for top tier Factorio content. Gene Science is your friend.
Let's start in Gene Science. The world feels like it's opening up. I am, at some point, going to do a times 100 research cost run. And I'm going to have a really good time with that. Also, why not some Pionodons? Check it out, it's the dining room and kitchen. Ignore the fact that the shelf is tilted, that's intentional. I think... I haven't, I think I looked at like I got the first DLC and I was like, all right, this is fine. There's so much more I could be doing with this game if I actually got really in depth in the game. Until I exhaust that content, I'm not going to be starting more DLC on Oxygen Not Included. Right. So, check out all these fun things we modeled off stream. I got a stove with a vent hood, and this nice little low poly sink going on. This nice refrigerator. Some little kitchen islands. Drawers that are open. And here look at this fancy plate cabinet. Ooh, you gotta have fancy plate cabinets and dining room tables. Well, see, there's one particular thing that the DLC adds that is of big note in Oxygen Not Included, which is the ability to actually swim. Because every bit of Oxygen Not Included to this point has been water is just a fluid, much like carbon dioxide, a fluid that sinks. And if you are in it, if you are at the bottom of that, you are not in the oxygen, and that's it. So other than that, it's like, well, and it requires a different set of infrastructure than gas fluids do. But other than that, it behaves the exact same. It actually takes up the same grid. Liquids and gases exist in the same layer. If a tile contains water, it does not contain any gas. So it's just categories of fluids, because you can have like molten iron as a fluid, though it will very quickly freeze into solid iron, unless something is going terribly wrong or terribly right. Anyway, oh yeah, we got these little candlesticks, very fancy. Free iron. I love free iron. I love free iron at 900 degrees. So one thing I was thinking that would be really fun is while you're up top, you're gonna be up top on these shelves, these cabinets. You're gonna be above these. And I was like, I want you to knock things over. I want you to be knocking things over as you do. So I'm like trying to figure out like how can we do that. So this is just a very simple cylinder rigid body. But it's so simple that like the player does not feel it at all, which is kind of intentional. It's purely decorative. It's on its own layer. The player moves like just unstoppingly through it. Oh, hello, best friendle. Welcome in. Thank you for the peek. A little peek. A little piece of peek. I mean, Dabble is very small, but this is, of course, just scaled up to cartoonish proportions because video game. And it's meant to be like a big mansion, so there's gonna be like you know, everything's big open, but when you have a big space to platform in, that means the furniture needs to be, you know, oxygen not included. I used to play a lot of that. I haven't installed it in a while. So I got I also modeled these nice little cartoonish boxes. That's actually using the metal grate texture. Just kind of colorized a bit to be a bit more cardboardy. Yeah, oxygen not included. Yeah. It's fun. It's cutesy. And gosh, never before has a game made me think about thermal conductivity. That just doesn't come up typically. Oh, I mean, Theron was very excited about it. I think what we're gonna do is, with these special kickables, we should call them kickables. When you touch a kickable, I want to immediately just launch it. Nice. And then give it some behavior based on the kickable type. So one of the kickable types will be a shatter, like this vase, for instance. Which what I want for that to do is kick it, immediately give it a pretty substantial amount of force. Set a quick timer just to make sure that it's out of the player's, you know, a little bit away from the player. And then the next time it hits anything solid, shatter into like 5 pieces that fairly quickly will just kind of fade out and we won't worry about those. And then we can delete them. Another type can just kind of like bounce around for a bit and they go and then just like scale away very quickly after that. So again, we're just gonna kind of like, or maybe fade out also works for that. And what we can do is just have a bunch of little things up top that we can just run right through. So breakable clutter. We're gonna have kickable clutter. So what do we need for that? We need the actual model. So let's have a base. Let's rename this. Instead of breakable clutter, we're gonna call this whole thing kickable clutter. And just kickables. Just call it kickables. Come on, Godot. There we go. And let's make a new base. Base kickable. Okay. So at its core, it needs to be a rigid body, right? Like, almost certainly. It's going to have a collision shape of some type. And it's going to have a mesh, which we're going to contain that within this. And then it'll have a code, some code for that. I mean, I would love to just have a random base that just explodes with like a really grainy, like slightly white outline from where it's been ripped from some poorly cut transparency. Just really bad stock explosion. Something recently I remember did that gag, like really recent in my mind. And I'm trying to remember if it was from like a YouTube video or it wasn't from a game that I played. It was it was the Deltarune trailer in the Nintendo Direct. I'm not particularly interested in Deltarune. Ages ago, I had a redeem where people could request me to play any game. And someone did request Deltarune Chapter 1 at one point. I played through, and it was fine. I mean, I never played Undertale. I watched Undertale being played many times through, and it's a very well-designed game, very cool, very good writing and music. So mad props to Mr. Fox. But when I actually played Deltarune, I was like, it's fine. You know, I see the appeal. It just doesn't get me. I think this is it for the base kickable. I do want to have just a simple. Whoops. There we go. Yeah. Guy knows his stuff. I mean, he's been doing it for a long time, like in a lot of different media. He's been doing a lot of different music things. Okay. The collision needs to be mask 1 and 6. It needs to be solid. It needs to treat terrain as solid, and the player. It needs to assume the player is a solid object. Maybe the partner? I don't know. We could let the partner, but not regular actors. I don't think regular actors will interact with that. That should do it. And now we need a little bit of code for this. Oh, so we need to recognize when it is moving, but only after it has reacted to the player. So is that I want to know when something has abruptly, when the player has kicked it specifically. Into bullet hell games, yeah. Some of those just stress me out a bit. I think the closest thing that I really got into that would, I think it's bullet hell, is Enter the Gungeon. Now, Enter the Gungeon it's weird how you can really like dissect a genre, because the base bullet hell genre, it's just like, you know, one screen, millions of bullets, tiny hitbox on the player. I don't even know if those games even have you shoot back, or if it's just you're dodging until you win. I think it doesn't really change anything if you're shooting. Yeah. Twin stick is its own separate subgenre, I guess. Like bullet hell in itself feels like it's a subgenre of something, and then like twin stick is like a micro genre. Just like paper likes are a tiny little mini genre within RPGs. See, we segue. We got it full circle. The Tau Howls, eh? I've never played a Touhou. Or a Tau Hao, for that matter. I think it'd be something like this. Hang on, let me do a quick doc check here. Godot, body, detect collision with specific layer. Let's see here. Get out of here, AI. Give me good old-fashioned forums to pour through. Get colliding bodies. You do have to enable contact monitor. Is this for 2019? That's probably version 3. Contact monitor. Emits signals when it collides with another body. Okay, good. That's what I want. What signal does it... Body entered. Okay. Let's try this. Let's just print body. And then we need to add our base kickable to the scene. We're gonna put it right over here. And it should start by colliding with the ground. Oh, C++. C++ is so powerful, but... Hey, give me that. Give me that. Where is it? I'm not seeing any logs here. On body entered does not... Wait. Do I need to... Requires a value greater than 0. Oh, yeah, okay. Does it recognize itself? Okay, so boom. Okay. 1536, I believe, is the ground. And now, boop, boom, character body. Got it. Okay. So now I need to check to see if it... I need to check what layer the body is in. Okay, it's not a rigid body, it's a character body. So I can do if body is character body 3D, which it is. I know it is. Then I can grab these character body specific things, such as collision layer. So grab the property path for that. Body layers equals layers. Okay, so now I want to check to see 6. I want to check 6. If body bitwise or 6 32. Okay, bitwise or node and body layer. Sorry. There's probably some kind of syntactical magic we can do for that. Boop. Okay, we got 2 tests. Give me some more. Ready? Boop. 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 Nice. Okay. Great. So this means... Yes, we got it. So we're gonna have a launch function. We want to get the... I guess we want to get the player's position. It doesn't have to be exact. We're not going for precision here. We just want to get something that's pretty good. So let's get body.global position there, and then launch it from there. So we're going to say, first off, we're going to remove the player as a collidable layer. So we're going to say self dot collision mask equals self dot collision mask. All right, how do we do this? How do we remove? There is almost certainly. All right, Godot mask bit. Where's our helper functions? functions. Get your AI. No, stop. No. No, how do I not? There's not even a like ask me later for those, is there? 5 years ago, that is probably how to formulate bit mask. Remove flag. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try something I've heard. Nope. Dang it. I heard that if you swear in your search, that AI will not be triggered. It didn't work. All right. Correct way to use bit flag. Let's check that one. Let's see here. GDScript has bitwise operators. Okay, good. Let's see here. Groupings. Subscription. Wait, what version of the code are we in here? 4.4. That'll work. Bitwise not. Okay, so let me explain what we're trying to do here. So we have a number, which when represented in binary, is our mask value. So we have the first bit set, second bit is off, third bit is off, second, third, fourth bit is on, fifth off, sixth on, seventh on, eighth off. So this is the actual number. If you do, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, this equates to something. 64, somewhere around 100 and something. Low 100s, maybe high 90s, I'm not sure. What we want to do is turn one of these flags off with a logical bit of magic. So specifically, I'm wanting to turn the sixth bit here, off, no matter what it currently is. So I want to set that bit to 0. So what I can do is I can do some kind of form of algebra on this and bitwise logic. So if we say, got alert. If we say 1 or 0, that evaluates to 1. True or false, it is raining or it is sunny. It is rainy or it is not rainy, evaluates to, yeah, of course, obviously that's true. 1 or 0 is 1. 0 or 0 is 0, etc. So we can do bitwise or, we can do bitwise and, that says both of them have to be 1 in order to evaluate to 1. Great. So let's find out. Let's see here. Simple way to unset an individual bit. Oh, that doesn't look great. No, I look at these bitwise functions and they are, ooh. Screenshot I saw recently someone asking Claude about code. Can't tell you because your preprocessor macros are not safe. Well, I mean, it's you have to get your programmer's license at 18. The bitwise equals. So I know what my value is here. So I kind of want to say. If I said or, if I just said or, well, that doesn't help me at all. Don't let him do it. See, what I could do is just intentionally do an OR to make sure that this gets set to 1 and everything else stays the same, and then just subtract it out, that would work. I wonder if there's a better way to do it, though. So I'd say bitwise with, what did we say this is, 32? So we do that, and then we subtract 32. I'm sure there's a cleaner way to do that. But let's comment that. It might be handy to have some utility functions at some point. Exclusive OR, but then it's not gonna be the value I need it to be. Wait a second. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's the one we need. I was looking at like ORs and ANDs, like what kind of weird combination? Because if you have a NOT, an OR, and an AND, you can build anything. If you have a NOT and an OR, I think you can also build anything, but it gets a lot uglier. But yeah, exclusive OR. Exclusive OR is a function that 0 exclusive OR 0 is false. It's one or the other, but not both. NAND is the magic one. If you've got a NAND and enough time. 0 and 1, yeah, that works. 1 or 0, that works. 1 and 1, that turns back to 0. It's like having two light switches that control a single light. If they're both off, the light is off. If one of them's on, the light's on. If the other one's on, then it's on. If they're both on, the light turns off. No, you got it. That's the one I need here, because that evaluates to 0, 1, 0. Oh, wait, hang on. But if it's already 0, then no. This assumes that we haven't unset it yet. Nah. Yeah, it assumes that we haven't unset it yet. So if this one started as 0, then it doesn't work. Now, I shouldn't ever have a case where that's something that we need to deal with, but let's see here. Is there a better bitwise operator? How to turn off a particular bit in a number. 2023. Oh yeah, it's all really, really messy. It's really, really messy. So if you have... Oh, geez. All right, well... If you have a mask in, and you're looking to change the kth bit, then apparently the function you're looking for is in bitwise and not 1 bit shift k minus 1. How does that work? Okay, hang on. Bit shift 1 minus 1. Oh, wait. In bitwise and not 1. That's what I want. Okay, all the other stuff is unnecessary because we're just evaluating to 32. Not 32 becomes this. You see, not 32 becomes that. And if we do a bitwise and with that, then we only get back the results where there's a 1 in both sides, which means we're ignoring this one right here, no matter what it is, and basically carbon copying the top number. That is it. That is it right there. So it's simpler. It's bitwise and with not 32. You know, good old not 32. We're gonna have has touched player. Let's set it to true here. If we've already touched the player, we return Oh gosh, I don't want to think about. Ugh. I had to do those kinds of like really out there, like bitwise puzzly stuff back in school. I don't miss it. Oh gosh, I have not had to think about the word Karnoff map for about 19 to 20 years. Oh. All right. So we're gonna change the collision point. We're gonna apply an impulse force. We're gonna get a force direction. We're gonna take that as our global position minus the source point, which is the player's position. We're gonna take that and we're gonna flatten it. We're gonna remove all elevation, and then actually we're gonna add some elevation as well. So we're gonna say just overwrite the y value with, I don't know, like 2 after we normalize it. And to specify here that that's a vector 3, just to make this a little bit easier. I mean, seriously. Is there not normalized? Okay, there we go. Then set the y equal to 2. Maybe let's randomize that a bit. Kind of range, let's say 1.5 to 2.5. So it's kind of upward. Then we're just gonna let this go crazy. So we want to apply a force to this. Apply, is it impulse? Is that the one? I'm independent. Just do it once. Apply a direction and a position to it. We're not gonna apply a position. Okay. I got too many of these things up. I need to get rid of these. There's too many of them. Okay, there we go. Apply an impulse force direction. And then also, let's start setting its rotational speed. Angular velocity. This is going to be silly. Let's just let it really spin. Is there a vector 3 dot random? No, that would be. Let's just do this. And then multiply it by some scalar that we'll figure out at some point. Okay, so this is just gonna... Let's see what that looks like already. So as soon as I tap this, I hope it's just gonna go flying wildly. Maybe not. I misspelled global position, so that's cool. I feel pretty good about that. Yeah, that didn't work. It turns out, don't make typos. All right, here we go, and boom. Okay, it did fly. There wasn't quite as violent as a spin as I would have expected. There was a little bit. Okay. So let's ramp up the spinach on this. And also, let's ramp up the uppage. And also, what if we mess with its... We could make it really bouncy. That could be cool. For that, I think what we need is a very bouncy, setting kickables as bouncy kickable material, bouncy kickable physics material. And now, get rid of it in here. We're gonna keep this available. It's preloaded. Oh, nice. I can't remember the last thing I did in C++. Like, maybe some, like, lab project back in college. C++ felt very clunky, I guess. Not as clunky as Java feels. And I know C++ is extremely powerful. Like, whoa. You can do some amazing stuff, but you can also make some amazing mistakes. I've just been on C# so long that I just can't imagine anything different. Let's see here. Physics material override equals this material. So we're gonna make it bouncy suddenly after you kick it. Ooh, raw C. Ah. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. That's very... Okay, okay. You can stop. Sir, you're making a scene. Sir. Oh, my partner can still... You know what? Let's remove partner from the kickability. C with class. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I gotta say, I have a guilty pleasure in JavaScript. JavaScript, I get some raised eyebrows about that, but I genuinely enjoy working in JavaScript. I think it's a fun. I guess because you could just do it whenever the mood strikes you. If you've got a browser, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna do something silly right now. I'm just gonna hack something out in the browser's dev console. I'm not even gonna install VS Code. That's fun to me. That it's just always there, lurking. You can't keep JavaScript out. I mean, you can, but please don't. I love JavaScript. Okay, this is good. Next up, we're gonna start a timer. You know what I'm implementing right now, as I'm suddenly like envisioning how this is gonna go down. There's a very specific animation that has popped into my head that this is really closely emulating, and it's going to be the last game you would imagine. Tunic. Yes, and I think that's so important. This is why, like, over the past, 5 years or so that I've been actually doing game dev on Twitch, when people ask for, recommendations of, learning, I say JavaScript specifically because it's something that you could just package up in an HTML file and you could just email it to your buddy. You don't even have to host it. You don't even have to host anything. You could just say, hey, I made this little... You can move a character around on a screen because I figured out how to use draw rect with Canvas, and now you can draw a rectangle, and I can and I can update it, and check it out. And they can just open it up, and then there it is. They don't have to install. It's like, oh, I made it in Python. It's like, oh, okay. How do I run it? Okay, well, first you're gonna want to go to their website and install Python. Okay, which version? Oh gosh, there's versions. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, web browser is there and it's got everything you need, and unless you're trying to email it to someone who's still on IE6 or something, you've pretty much got all your modern features there. Exactly. And that comes from me having like actually experimented with doing some stuff in like Pygame way back in the day. Just playing around. I don't know what I thought was gonna happen, like with as little experience as I had. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a strategy RTS or something. It's fine, but I feel like what it gives you is not special anymore. In the time of like the late 2000s, early 2010s, where I was actually playing around with it, like setting up a game from scratch was like, okay, we're gonna have to talk about instantiating meshes, and we're gonna have to talk about OpenGL, and you're gonna have to. All right, are you ready for like a lot of talking about individual triangles? And I'm like, oh no. Do people have to do this on every game? And then it's just like, well, not really. Like love is. I need to learn that at some point, because so many things build off of that, and I think it would just be really handy to know. Is that what Dupu was using when he was doing his SMB experiment? A lot of people won't know what I'm talking about, but we overlap heavily with a community of Who is Dupu, who I'd say predominantly streams Super Mario World ROM hacks. I don't think he can shake those allegations. But he has background as a developer and adjacent. Who is Dupu? Exactly. So he was playing around with a NES emulator that I don't remember the nature of exactly how it worked, but I think it was a specific emulator that opened up easy scripting API so that you could make changes. The idea that he had going into that project, it was just a one-day project, was let's make a machine that is not a learning computer. It is going to play this game by changing what buttons it holds every quarter second or something. And so it was just like randomly jumping. That was the idea. It was like it would just randomly start jumping intervals, and then the rest of the stream was just watching and seeing, is it going to beat the game or is it going to beat 1-1? That was it. That was the stream. And a certain mischievous chatter by the name of Dobbs Works asked in chat for Dupu, hey Dupu, can you set up a command in chat where we can provide a hex address and a value, and it live sends that command to the emulator? And he did, and it was really funny. Because suddenly a lot of chat who had no real knowledge of the inner workings of the NES started like, oh, hang on, I gotta look up a hex map of the SMB code base. I gotta know, okay, hang on, how do we change the sky color? Okay, boom, bright yellow, perfect. Okay, how can we adjust the music? Oh, it's that bit? Okay, change bit, da, da, da. And that was it. That was like the rest of the stream, and it was really fun. I don't remember what got me onto that. Oh, it was scripting. I think the way that he hooked into the emulator was Lua. I always want to say Luau. In fact, I'm gonna start making it. It's just Luau now. All right. Timer. The thing that we are going to be hilariously emulating is actually Tunic. When you chop the little shrubs in Tunic, they're these nice little low poly shrubs, and you slice them and they do kind of this nice little bounce, boink, 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 and then they disappear. But it's just very fun to just, you know, boom, 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 boom. Sounds good, best friend. Well, enjoy your meal. I think there's a lot of overlap between Mario World ROM hacks and software developers. Because, I mean, ROM hacking requires a great deal of mucking about with assembly, and you have to have a certain type of mind to be willing to do that. And so the people who are making these ROM hacks are, you know, adjacent to the people that are playing them. And so it kind of just, the communities intermingle a bit, and you get a lot of people who are very development focused in this very Mario platformy focused communities, and it just kind of mixes and turns into a delicious smoothie. I forgot where I was going. All right. Once the timer hits a certain amount, I want to run an animation called scale and delete. Where we're gonna mess with just the mesh. I don't think we can mess with the collision shape exactly. Oh, this is gonna be awkward if this thing is like upside down or something. So we're gonna have to do it pretty quickly. Or we just assume that we're gonna, no. Let's just say scale it down really quick, maybe 0.2 seconds. Great. Make this 0.4, make this 0.3, and then at 0.35 add a call method. To delete this object. And that's it. So scale and delete is going to get called here. Call that one time only. I could do that with an await, but I'm not going to. Oh, it's Dupu himself. Who is Dupu? Did somebody ping you? Because I was just talking about you. All good things, all good things. He just knows. His ears are burning. All right, so let's see how that works with our little cube. All right, so we're just gonna boop. Boing, boing, boing. There you go. Yeah. Now this, I don't know what we're gonna do with that, but these little, like, you bump into them and they just bounce around. We can go crazy with that. Okay, so we've got our base kickable. Now we can expand upon that to make more interesting kickables. What kind of kickables would we like to make, everyone? What would be found up here above the cabinets of our fancy kitchen? It was a good day. I take full credit for that idea because I think that was so amazing. I'm trying. No, I bullied Dupu into doing a lot of things. Playing Factorio. Playing Factorio again, but better, and not putting everything on the bus. Yeah. Adding a whole lot of stuff to stream layout on Germduff's birthday. But by far the best thing was was giving us full control of of the NES RAM. Oh, the question that came up was like, what was the emulator for that? Because it was a specific one that allowed for easy scripting. And I was trying to remember what the language was. Yeah, BizHawk was the emulator. I think we were trying to remember if it was Luau. We're calling it Luau. All right, base kickable. Let's have a new inherited scene. So all we do is hide this, and we can change the collision shape. Let's see here. Oh, let's just do some little some little cans. Cans to kick the cans. Little jars and such. It was a luau thing attached to that. Okay. That's what I figured. Oh, is that a little jar? Is that a little jar of something I see? Oh, maybe. What can we slap on this polygon here? Brick? No. Ogre? No, absolutely not. This is technically brick also, but it's like, what? You know, what is it? It's gray. Don't worry about it. Now, if we smooth it, it's going to be smooth at the top also, which isn't as nice. Oh, you know what we could do though? Just make 2 cylinders. What am I doing here? So what is this? What are we making then? Lid. Like what is this? Is it a can? Yeah, it's a can of something. It's a can of something. Let's do some of these, oh yeah, there we go. That looks great. Yeah, it's a can of red. Tiny Dabble World. It's a good one. Okay, so then we say new shape here. All right, this might be extremely satisfying, so just brace yourselves for that. This might be one of the best things in the game coming up. Kickable jar. All right. Change this to kickables. Yeah, that's the one. I remember it. It was good. Is this too small? Maybe, maybe not. Right, get rid of this. Still don't know what to do with this, but that's fine. Okay, this is kind of like that part, those mini parts in Mario Odyssey, where there's just piles of stuff, and they're like, you want to make a big mess, don't you? And you just like, me too. And they're like, go on then. Go on. Have a little fun, I suppose. And you're like, yay, thank you, video game. I love having fun. Alright, let's see if this is any good. Oh, they don't interact with, they don't fly with themselves. Hello? Where's all the kickability? You guys are supposed to be kickable. What's the deal here? Hello? Okay. There was supposed to be a kaboom. No, they're not launching. They are just not launching. Uh-oh. The same code, right? Yeah, base kickable. 167. 67, that looks fine. Oops, I started the wrong scene. It's just a jar. In the void with a jar of preserves. No, 6-7 is out, Deepu. Yeah, it's not recognizing that at all. Gotta go into hiding here. Hello. Make room for you. The chords. Alright. Alright, so let's see what's going on. Why is this not working? So I may want to have them count themselves as solid. It's not recognizing any of that, surprisingly. It's still attached to this. Well, I guess the first thing to check is it recognizing that it is that code. Yeah, we got all those. Those are all good. I do want them to be able to stack on each other, though. I don't know how we're gonna do that exactly, but we'll find a way. Maybe we just change this to pickable. There we go. Okay, so it knows that it's the right code, but this is never triggering, maybe? Ever? Oh, wait. Hang on, something is noteworthy here. Let's refresh these. Is there a way I can refresh? The only thing I want to keep is the position on these. That shouldn't make a difference, but If we get a little stack of these. Yeah, so there we go. I mean, they do respond to physics, but they're not flying up into the air like we've programmed them to do. Yeah, it's not seeing that at all. So it's not triggering this right here. There's our problem there. It does have the signal for on-body entered. So it's supposed to be hitting this. Oh, wait. Do you suppose that it's the... Oh, yeah, look at this. Max contacts reported is 0 for some reason. How did that happen? On both of these. That wasn't the case on either of these a moment ago, was it? I must have somehow reset that. Okay, let's spread a few of these out then. Let's just make a little pile, a little satisfying pile of these to kick. All right, here we go. Video games. No. Oh, because now these don't have that. Yeah, alright, so now I gotta fix that on these. Later versions of Godot, which I'm still considering upgrading to at some point, it's just gonna be a big pain. There we go! Yeah! Now this one escaped somehow, so we can still kick it. There we go, and then it disappears. Oh, that is kind of fun. That is admittedly pretty fun. Okay, so yeah, we can do a bunch of these, just scattered all over the place. And they'll just fall onto the right position, but just for now, I'm just gonna get them a little bit closer. But they'll fall and land on the ground when the scene loads. So yeah, we can just add some piles of jars here, all over the place. Just as something fun to you know, make a mess with. All right, so we're definitely gonna want even more of that up top, because that's just fun. It's fun to run into things, you know? We can make them a little bit bigger even, now that I think about it. Let's scale these up just a smidge. Okay. Nice. I will probably need to adjust these. And these. We'll just kind of exaggerate their size a bit. Make them just a little bit easier to see. There we go. And then we'll just grab 3 of these and bring them down here. Love it. I can actually put these out of the way as kind of a test, like when I'm watching someone play the game, if they go out of their way to kick these, it's like, Okay, good. I think... Oh, how did we do this? No, I better not. I was gonna say, there is a way that we can kind of dynamically color these a bit. That might be good. That might be good. It was it was the shipping container. Static variable, all materials. Yeah, it just shifted the albedo a bit. Yeah, we'll consider it, but I don't think it's necessary. All right, so there's our first kickable thing, is a jar. We need similarly, like, not flat, not thin, like squarish or cylindry, you know, roughly box proportioned things. Like boxes of food, like little cereal boxes. So we're gonna do another one of these. We're gonna call it pickable box. And I feel like this is gonna be much easier to manage. Let's see, we'll make it a little bit thinner. Okay, there we go. Collision shape is box, believe it or not. Okay, get the top and bottom lined up. Left and right, looks good. Get rid of this. And now a little texture. I might have just the thing. No? Where would that be? This texture right here, where does this live? Parksign.png. Okay. How would this look? I mean, kind of. It does look I mean, I think you might end up recognizing it, so I might want to give it a little bit of something. A little bit of... I don't know. What about triplanar? That's kind of like a cereal box without having to put too much work into it. I kind of do want to have like a series of materials that it could cycle through randomly. Yeah. All right, let's make a quick code for that. So what we need to do here is save this in our kickables as box texture 1. Now get rid of it. And we're gonna apply a script here. Let's make this mechanisms, texture, randomizer. Extends CSG box? No. Extends geometry instance. Greedy. And actually, you know what? I think it's not even gonna be on that. You're gonna be able to provide it with the geometry instance, I guess. And that way it can be a little bit, that way we can have a different script on the box. Geometries is going to be an array of geometry instances. That way we can apply it to more than one. And then we need our materials, which is going to be an array of standard material 3D, or is there something that inherits off of? Yeah, let's just stick with standard material. By default, empty arrays. All right, there you go. And now when you ready up for geometry and geometries, we're not going to go full random. This is very important. I actually have a function here. Let's see here, that will give me a random float from a vector 3. I mean, it's not really random, but it doesn't matter that it's not really random. We're gonna use the geometry's initial global position to generate a float. And then, how did the shipping container thing work? Because that was based on that, wasn't it? Yeah, then we just multiply by the number of elements in our materials list. And that's it. Then we, then geometry dot material override equals our material. And we're done, right? I think that's it. So if we say that we've got, we say node, texture randomizer, apply our script to it, and now we just say, all right, which geometry? I want this one to change. Okay, what materials? Well, I want to have this one for one thing. But now what I can do is I can duplicate this and have box texture 2. And now we can go in and say, all right, box texture 2 uses some other something or other. What else can we throw on here? Some weird texture. That looks like great texture right there. Make it a bit orange. Boom. There's another texture right there. So then I can say, all right, yep. Add that one in. And now, if I have multiples of these, so let's add some kickable boxes. Kickable box. Add to scene. Let's put it up here. All right, let's just sprinkle a few of these around. Oh yeah. Oh, people are gonna love these. Oops, I named it Kickable Jar still. Box. Okay, throw some more over here. But don't have them in the exact same setup because that's suspicious. People will be like, interesting that it's all exactly the same, huh? Looks like you copy-pasted it. Like, but I did, you know I did. Okay. A little of this. Boxes everywhere now. Now, hopefully... Oh, we're gonna use it. We're gonna use it. Here we go. Show me some boxes. Look at that. See, now they randomize their texture based on the array of textures I gave. And I can still kind of just make a mess, throwing them around, and that's fun, and people will enjoy that. We're gonna need more textures, though. So what we could add is an option for colorable material. Well, okay, hang on now. This is where it gets a little bit dicier. So keeping in mind that these are all going to be sharing the same code and therefore can share the same materials, we don't want them to generate 5 different, I don't want every box to generate a random material with like a random albedo color. But if I have multiple things using this code, I don't want them to accidentally share textures if I want to do it in different ways. It might make more sense just to say, we're gonna have just a series of just generic texture. Oops, that should have been 1. Yeah, let's just make a handful of these that are basically the same texture, but with some different color added on. So we're gonna replace this with this. We'll go with a nice deep red, so that'll be 1. Okay, then we can duplicate that. 2. That's more of a blue. 3 for a classic green. You get the idea. Just have a bunch of different textures that can show up. And now in Kickable Box, in our texture randomizer, add those in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now when I reload the scene, I should have even more box colors appearing. Oh, there's blue, 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 yellow, blue. Yeah, I see 4 of the textures, 4 of the 6. So if we keep adding more boxes, then we got more blue. There might be some up there that I can't quite see. They're so far up. But yeah, just having some boxes that can get... I don't like this first one now. This one that has the text, the what you call it? That one right there. Get rid of that. Let's replace it. So rather than... Let's just change the texture. Let's see. What about... Why not? Sure. So like give it some color. Why not? Okay. What other things can we bump into? Actually, you know what? Now I think about it. This texture randomizer. That would go great right here on this. Right? But instead of these textures, it would be different ones. I think our shingles textures that I've got would actually work really well on this. Red, brown, regular shingles. Although that's what I use for the jar top, so maybe we replace the top with... Alright, so that's gonna spice up these jars a little bit. And so the nice thing is that it's randomized, but also it is consistent. I think we need to up that float a bit. Let's multiply. Like, I feel like the number we're getting is not stretching enough across the random space. So we're gonna scale it up and see if we can get a better spread. Oh. Axis index 10. Oh, yeah, because... Alright, so multiply this by 10, not that by 10. Oh, wait, no. That won't work either, is it? Yeah, because this one is... Okay. Because this is a 0 to 1. So maybe if I just up that. That might scale up our random space a bit. Get a little bit more variety in place. Yeah, there we go. Now I feel like these are gonna need some noises, and I don't know how to see. All right, so this is our next problem. Is this one is not one of the kickables yet. It is just a physics object that can be pushed, but itself does not push anything. The result is that it can very easily be forced through any geometry. So we want to do something similar to what we do with these, which is after it touches the player, it stops being affected by the player and just starts randomly bouncing for a few seconds before disappearing. That's a good start, though. I really like these little... Here's a bunch of things. Why don't you kick them? If I can also attach a nice thumping sound with them, I think that would be really good. Where you just kind of blast through a bunch of those, just start making all kinds of thumping noises before finally falling away. Makes me feel like I want to have more things, though, to bump into. But I like what we got already. It's a good start. Yeah, we gotta figure out what to do with this, though. For now, put it off screen somewhere. The mystery vase. Let the game archaeologists wonder what in the world the purpose of this vase was. Alright, let's shift gears a bit and work on achievements. Something I've been wanting to do for a bit. We got a lot of ideas of different achievements we can do. Let's see here. So I think this is going to go in the databank panel here. How does the databank panel look? All right. It only shows the map right now. That's fine. So databank has these. We have to give it a scene and a submenu. What does that mean? Module log and module menu. If I look on this and just fold a bit of this, right, there's going to be, this duplicates the button. So the button can be automated. So that's done. We don't have to do anything with that. Databank items. Right, so this databank, so scan log versus scan menu. Scan log is what? It is this, apparently. This is the scan log, okay. What is scan menu? Scan log, item backdrop. Oh, it's the actual menu item where you can, like, scroll down. Okay, yeah, we can basically copy paste. Yeah. Or do we want to do it more like? Well, let's pull up the databanks and look at the different ones we have so far and see which one would work. Because we're gonna have a pretty significant number of achievements, right? Okay, so enemy scans is like this, with details about the enemy being listed here as you uncover it. Same with music. There we go. Yeah, what's up? So that's one option there. Stats effect. This is more like what this looks like. Why are these already unlocked? Oh, because I've got the automatic setup for testing. But module list is different. It looks like this, where it's just an icon. I don't think we're gonna have a separate icon for every achievement in the pause menu. I don't even know if the Steam achievement icons will be in the game files anywhere. So I think we go more like one of these with a list of achievement names, maybe like some kind of icon for locked versus unlocked. And then when you mouse over, we get the full achievement name and what you have to do to receive it. Do we want to, at the risk of feature bloat, we're going to handle achievements very similar to Stardew Valley, which is there's going to be an internal system that tracks achievements per file. And once one of those is unlocked, we can send the request to Steam to say, okay, unlock it on their Steam profile. But if you start a new file, the file's achievements are going to say, oh, you haven't gotten this one yet. Even though overall, in Steam you have. What would be interesting is, I know it's Stardew Valley, I think. Once you complete an achievement in game, that file receives, I think, a hat that's specific to each achievement. So I wonder if we want to do something like that, where unlocking achievements actually awards you something. We can consider that, but for now, let's just get a menu up. We're gonna do basically the same as the status effects, it looks like. So, is there a print going on? I just saw a 64 scroll by a lot of times. Look at that. What's going on here? Who's doing that? Who is doing that? Quest 64? Who is printing 64? Menu item height, right there. Okay. I don't remember why that was necessary. Some kind of troubleshooting, I'm sure. Alright, so stats effects log, we're gonna have achievements log. Item backdrop, combat menu. Yeah, it's exactly the same as this. So log, bless you. And then this is the achievements menu. All right, so we're just gonna say achievements. Achievements log, achievements menu, initialization. Let's set up achievements log. Doesn't exist yet. Can see and is enabled. She's going to. Yeah, let's see if we can get on the left side. That's a cool setup to allow for, oh, there we go. Yes, shenanigans are afoot. We got shenanigan back. Yeah, lag is such an issue with versus mode. Jump through here, jump over. There we go. Line it up, line it up. All right, we're back. You know, I never played Splatoon.
We should totally organize a night where we just sing songs on the Dob stream. It'll go
right now.
very well.
Just a small town girl.
Girl.
All right. Okay. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle indeed. Okay, that is... Whoa! Oh! Oh! Oh, I see. Oh, I want a star. I want a star, and I want to stand on that. That was dumb. Let's do it. Let's impersonate Germ Dove here. There we go. There we go. I'm now fully germed up. Wait, hang on. There's something missing. There's something missing. There's something missing. There we go. The full Germ Dove experience. The slightly grainy chroma key. This is how we're doing the rest of the stream in Germ Dove mode. This is truly a new era for the channel. Stealing other people's layouts.
This is just...
It's fun.
It is. This is too much fun.
Hey, what level are you at? Experience-wise.
I don't know. How do I know?
Oh, like it's down in the bottom, above your inventory.
I don't have any.
Oh, okay. Just
I
checking.
recently died.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Ah! Did you move the water?
Oh. I mean... Look, Turtle. There's no way I come out of this looking like the good guy.
Did you put it back?
Yes.
I need to come down and get my stuff.
You need to roll iron. So an iron roll 1.
None of my abilities do a dang thing here.
No, I'm afraid not.
You're not designed for grapple.
You're designed for sneaking. Oh
Okay.
my god! Wow. Okay.
Holy-
You know, for Christmas. She played sword, or maybe shield. I don't remember which one we got for her. And she wasn't a huge fan. I think she would have preferred the more classic style Pokemon games. Oh my gosh. No! No! The beetle! I knew the beetle was coming and I panicked. That... Chirped. Whoa. Good job. You've proven yourself worthy. Not what I wanted you to do. There we go. Alright, we are back. Okay, the menu stuff is actually gonna be pretty fast. Huh? Oh, right. I'll close it. Okay. Now, the menu stuff, it's done. That was easy. I mean, it's not actually populating the data, but it will. So to make that work, we need to actually give it some values. We're gonna come up with how we're gonna key this. So achievement directory. So what's gonna be an example? I don't really love the milestone stuff as much. It feels kind of grindy. Like, oh, you got to keep playing until you just randomly get it. Like win a battle with 1 HP remaining. That one's more like it. Battle science, as I categorized it, of things that are of particular interest. We'll need some system for actually unlocking achievements. So let's start with this. What's the shape of this object going to be? Oh, look at the enemy directory again. Yeah, I mean, it's just regular stuff. I don't even know if we want to do special icons or anything. Special achievement. And then it'll have a description. Do a special thing that is really, really cool. And then I don't know what else we'll need on these. We might do icons. We can go back and add icons, but I don't want to commit to doing unique art for every single achievement. So in our databank, in our game manager, we're going to say that we already have that one unlocked, and that we do not have this one, my other achievement. Different thing that is really cool. Okay, so this is how we set up this. Here's what we're looking for, is for item. Okay. I don't know why we need to call this, but I'm gonna assume that's important. Call the dot ready. What is this num? Oh, right, so we can number them. I don't think we're going to number them. I don't think we need to do that for status effects, really. All right. For achievement ID in the achievement directory dot list, I should make an achievement list automatically. And the way that we do that here is, yeah, we just, if item dot index, oh yeah, that makes sense. So I could just look for a description. Achievement list, grab the property name, there we go. So there's our achievement list. So for each ID, hey Chip, what's going on? Oh, it's going pretty good. Getting a little bit extra work done tonight. We have added a just some fun things to kick around. I think the game needs more of that. What the two weird things that came to mind for this was Mario Odyssey and Tunic. But just like when you're running around in the world, just nice to just like bump into stuff and have it just kind of flop around for a bit. I think that's fun. Kicking stuff. I love kicking stuff. It'll need some nice little sound effects. This is a kitchen, by the way. This is a little kitchen area. I modeled some lovely low poly furniture. You're gonna make your way through this mysterious house. Ooh. I have some really dumb gags for platforming in this area. You want to see something really stupid? You want to see how do you get across to this kitchen island? Well, let me show you. I don't know why, but that just really cracked me up. It's a good gag. It's a good gag. Anyway, then you can knock over stuff. Just a really, I was like scratching my head. I was like, what kind of thing would there be? Like, what would you know, like, how do you get across? Is there like just a random plank or like a broom? What would be in a kitchen? And I was like, wait a second. I need to think more whimsically. Then it was like, what if it's a drawer, but it just like keeps going and going? Wouldn't that be fun? See, that's fun. Just gonna run through it. That's fun. If that makes a good, satisfying sound, I think people would just really enjoy that. Cat, what are you doing up there? So yeah. And now what we're working on is the very early stages of achievements. I don't even know if this will do anything. Okay, well, it gives me this. So we're gonna set up a quick achievement system. Very bare bones. Oh, did they have a can? Oh, that's true. It's one of those things that can really sneak up on you. You're like, achievements, of course. What do you have in mind for that? I've got some very silly ones planned. I'm categorizing my achievements because I think that's helping me think about it. You get some money for kicking it into a shop. Well, I'd love to kick a can into a shop. I don't think I'm gonna do any of the milestone stuff. This kind of like do this a million times is uninteresting to me and is more of a measure of just how long you've played the game. Progression, like, yeah, I've got one that's just like, all right, you did progress, good job. I think a speedrun achievement of any percent of the game in a set time, that's an easy one to implement. Sure, throw that in. I want to do challenge runs as a potential thing. I'm basing that a lot on Bug Fables that did something similar, like you enter a code at the game's files. When you create a file, you give it a name, and if you give it specific names, it's like a special hard mode, and there's like 5 different hard modes that you can do. One I've got in mind that I think would be really interesting is you play the entire game starting at like 500 HP or something, and you never get to heal. So the game is like, from the beginning of the game, you have a set amount of HP that's just every time you take damage, you're having to budget that against the rest of the game. I think that would be a very interesting game mode. Definitely change how you stock up on stuff. 5 HP max is an easy one to implement. It's just like, all right, your max HP is 5 and you can never level that up. People do that in Thousand Year Door anyway because it's just objectively the easiest way to play. But yeah, kind of like a hardcore mode. Feel like real and cheap. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I actually did a thing. I feel like I've got to have the progression ones just because it's... I don't know. It feels like, well, you got to have that, right? To know that you're progressing through the game. I want to do completion stuff for 100% stuff. So each of the things in the game that you can fill out as you go, I want to have something for completing that. So enemy scans. Every time that you have seen an enemy, you have to scan it to get its stats. And if you do that for every enemy in the game, which, holy cow, we're in chapter 4 and we already have 43 different enemies. You get an achievement for that. Same thing for finding all the different modules in the game, which I need to add a lot more of those. Finding all the songs is gonna be kind of side questy because I've got this idea in my head of like going out and catching the songs in a sense. Like after you complete an area, you can come back and then find this new enemy running around that's like, I don't know, it's carrying a cassette. And it's like, there's the soundtrack. We got to collect all the soundtrack. Finding all the status effects in the game, which have 22 different status effects, which is hilarious. Yeah, that kind of stuff. That's a good easy one. Perfect special move execution. A lot of the special moves in the game are like these big moments of like, you're only going to use these like every once in a while, so you got to make them count. And many of them, it's like, just get as much of whatever as you can. You know, like this one is a healing move, so you got to grab all these healing orbs. And I think for each of those, if I tweak it right, we can have an achievement for, did you basically perfectly execute this special move and get the maximum possible benefit out of it. I think that's an easy thing to add in as an achievement, and that's gonna be like 8 achievements right there. And then the category that I think is the most interesting is battle science. It's the stats and battle system in this is not as expansive as, say, like Slay the Spire, where there's all these crazy mixes of things where you can get to like infinite energy generation and infinite damage. But there are those kinds of things in the game of like, if you play your cards right, you could do, whatever. If you find the right combination of items, and the right combination of status effects, then you can do some kind of ridiculous, like, well, yeah, that is how that That is how that works. So yeah, you just dealt 1,000 damage or whatever. Like, how many status effects can you stack on a party member at one time? That kind of stuff. This is more like, I don't know what I'm thinking with that. But yeah, anyway, get rid of this. We were doing bitwise math earlier. Okay, so we have achievements. We need to have them show up. Achievement directory dot achievement list. Achievement ID, that's our achievement. Is it revealed? Well, that is based on, did you unlock it? Let's to unlocked. Not effect ID, this ID. All right, what do we have in here? Oh, achievement directory, right? I still need to make that a global. Where are we putting that? Where is that? Here we go. Just more big blocks of code. I love it. That needs to be kind of early on. I don't think any actual code is going to exist in this. I mean, this is just a resource by another name. Right now, I think it's just going to be a list of IDs, names, and descriptions. Maybe we add some icon references, but then I have to add like a bunch of icons, and that's a whole thing. We'll see. I need sprites. What are we gonna do here? Big green check mark for completion, or what? Gray, yeah, let's do gray. Uh, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 for unlocked. Or I could do the check mark. I don't know, we got some options there. I'm just pulling things from the existing icon stuff. All right, the name of the achievement is going to be, I think it's just going to be the achievement name. But the description, I guess the description can always be like the actual definition. So for a lot of these little data banks, I hide the details until you actually have achieved it. But I think for achievements, it makes sense for you to know what you are supposed to do anyway. I was mentioning this earlier. I think in Stardew Valley you get a hat on that file if you've unlocked an achievement on that file. I may do something like that, like a little mini reward in game. Maybe, even if it's just like lore or something. We can add that down here on the if locked. All right. Stats effects menu, no. We want achievements menu. Add item using name. Whether or not it is unlocked. And then the no description here. Posy's having a little dream over there. Oh, she's really wiggling. Oh, she is wiggling. Alright, well, hang on. Now we gotta see Posy. I see Posy. Oh. Oh, where? There we go. Hang on. Commence the wiggling. Oh, oh no. Trying to like lock it onto my water bottle for stability. Oh, she's wiggling. Alright, I think she's done wiggling. Are we done wiggling? She's done wiggling. I'll never get this camera back the way it was. Probably about there. That seems good. And then status effect. Yeah, we have to handle it. Where does this get called? There we go, right there. Okay, selected achievement is going to be the achievements. Handle it. Achievements menu. Old achievements index. Now I gotta find where this is. Okay. Oh, I'm having to type achievements so much. Achievements list. Selected achievement index. Achievements, achievement directory. No? Oh, it's not spelled right. None of these, I copy pasted it and it was spelled incorrectly. I assume. There we go. Okay. Achievement. Oh, well, now what? Selected achievement index. Oh, even that one was wrong. Okay. Label. Achievement label. Achievements log. Go. Achievement.name. Achievement.description. Thank you. Good call. What is... Oh, right. That's like different. Okay. No, I think I want to show this regardless. Well, but... All right, let's do this. I don't know. We could put like some kind of ARG stuff hidden behind the achievements or something. Like once you unlocked it, like there's a little piece of some puzzle. You know? All right, so let's go into this menu now and see if the achievement shows up. Uh-oh. Achievements list. Is it because I called it achievement list? Yes. All right, try again. Oh yeah, I love that. Let's do a horror ARG. Oh, it's because I keep calling it achievement list, isn't it? Oh, I spelled it wrong, didn't I? Oh wait, hang on. No. That's not what it is. Achievement list. Yeah. Achievement directory. Achievement list. Has 2. My awesome achievement is right there. And then this is my awesome achievement. Okay, well that's correct then. Invalid access to property or key, my awesome achievement. On type of base array. I didn't want that. Yeah. Okay, hang on. Yeah, I didn't want it like that. I wanted this. I think? Is that how I Yes. Oh, no Minecraft tonight. That's right, Willow. We're doing full-on game dev again. There we go. There we go. There's our achievements. And we can just have a big list of these. At some point, I'm going to have to add some kind of handling for strings that are too long. Mince wrapped. Okay, that's the basics of the achievement system. I think the next time we work on that, we might need to actually implement some real ones and have a little kind of party. Something that kind of confetti whenever you unlock an achievement. I don't know how big of a deal to make it, because it can cover up the screen a bit, and I don't want it to cover up the actual Steam notification either. Yeah, we'll see how that gets handled. Thank you all for hanging out. It was fun. Where are we going? Jeez. How many mask shards is she missing? She's at 9 masks, so at most 4, right? Oh nice. Let's go into small. Small is doing Godot. Just perfect. I might want to slow this cursor spin down. I don't know. We'll figure something out. There's so many things. This game is big. How did this happen? How did this game get so big? There's 43 enemies. Oh my gosh. That's disgusting. Yeah, this will be good. Achievements, will brainstorm like a little what should happen when you get an achievement, like, you know, a little boop at the bottom or something, because it could happen in the middle of combat or in the middle of, I don't think it could happen in the middle of a platforming section, but I think it should happen during combat typically, or story stuff, and we don't want it to block that. we'll think about it. Have a good night, everyone, and a good weekend. Goodbye.